Hey everyone, welcome back to Adapting. There are no words to explain how chuffed I am about our two pair of special guests. We'll be interviewing two very special people, to Robin at least, since I've never met them. Their names are Bonnie and Mike.
They're fantastic. They're going to talk to us all about medicine and adaptive sport, getting into the sledge hockey world, achieving some dreams. In fact, they have so much to share. We have a really long episode today. So we're not going to chat too much. We're going to jump right into it. Get ready to hear the incredible stories of Bonnie and Mike. That's the first time I've heard your last name pronounced, so I'm pretty excited that now I actually know what it's supposed to be, because I always go, nope.
I pronounce it differently. I pronounce it Krakalovich.
Okay.
That's sort of the Ukrainian pronunciation because, you know, Krakalovich. That's how it's spelled. Krakalovich. I think that's the first spelling he ever learned. He did.
Just like that, too.
Yeah, because he'd hear me on the phone with, you know, Sears or whatever. Krakalovich. And he was like, you know.
That's very rhythmic.
Just started talking, and he would lay while he was getting his diapers changed. He'd be right. Krakalovich.
Oh, I've heard that story many times.
Yeah, just share it.
I have no shame.
I like that about you already. So why don't you tell us who you are? Yeah, let's just find out who you are.
Well, I'm 53 years old. I was born with spina bifida, and love sports, especially hockey.
Yeah.
Have as long as I can remember, I think.
Do you have a hockey nickname?
Actually, I do. A couple of years ago, at a tournament, I was actually playing for a team other than Medicine, because sometimes we end up, you know, other teams are short, and
For sure.
our team quite often has a lot of players.
That says something about the club here.
Well, and it's just the sledge hockey world in general. Like, you wouldn't see that, I don't think, in like regular hockey. But anyway, one of the players on the team I was playing for nicknamed me Assassin.
Ooh.
Assassin?
Mike the Assassin.
Wow.
So
Sounds like a wrestling name.
and really, it's just because I was apparently I was just very, very sneaky in getting to the front of the net, like an assassin, I guess. So yeah,
Very cool.
so that has become my nickname at times.
Do you have it on your jersey?
No, unfortunately.
I feel like that needs to be a sticker on something.
Yes, Tyrion Lannister would say, wear it like armor so it can't be used to hurt you in the future.
Oh,
Just like put it on your shoulder.
or my helmet, maybe. That could work.
I feel like that should happen.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe for this season.
Yeah, that might have to figure something out for sure.
So who's with you today, Mike?
This would be my wonderful mother.
And I'm not quite sure how you got to be 52 or 53, because I'm only 50.
I'm sure you haven't aged a day.
I know. Today.
Ah,
Even though I did just have a 73rd birthday.
that's how I got to be 53.
I guess so.
Oh,
Yes.
Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you. Thank you.
So, whose idea was it to get into sledge? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like I said, I've always loved hockey,
Yes.
and with the spina bifida, playing regular stand-up hockey wasn't an option, obviously. Which I've always said that for the most part, I wouldn't change anything about about my life. But that's probably, if there was one thing, that would probably be it.
Yeah.
Because growing up, it just wasn't an option.
And everything is hockey. Everything is hockey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had heard about sledge hockey, but I didn't even know that it was something that happened here. I just happened to stumble upon the Facebook page for the Medicine Hat Adaptive Sport organization that runs it, and I decided I wanted to go and try it out. I had no idea I was actually going to be joining a team. I thought it was just a group of people that got together and played once a week, and I was hooked right from day one.
So how old were you when that started?
That was
Ish.
2015, right?
No,
Or
would
16.
have been after we came here. So
When did you cut?
2016.
2016. Yeah, so I was 45.
So you got like 8 years in here.
Yeah. Yeah, this will be my ninth.
Yeah.
My ninth season coming up.
That's very cool.
Wow. That's impressive.
Did you know anything about sledge?
Nope. Well, except that it's played in a sledge, so.
Yeah.
I always thought it was a sled.
Well,
I'm like, 'cause it look-
they're interchangeable, the terms. Some people call it a sled. Some people call it a sledge.
Well, I got my hand spanked for calling it a sled the other day, so we're gonna go with
What?
sledge.
Well, it depends who you talk to.
That's fair. That's fair. But I've watched some video. It's really quite cool.
Yeah. Looks more intense than normal hockey.
Oh, it can be. It's funny. Shortly after I started playing, one of my friends that has a bit of a warped sense of humor.
Oh no.
Sent me this video on Facebook of sledge hockey hits, and it's like most of it was like from like higher level where they do play much more intense, and I'm thinking, I had a brief moment where I thought, do I really want to play this?
Well, and how about you, Mom? Like, were you scared?
Well, no, because I started going and watching right away, and no, it was pretty tame.
Yeah.
But then I watched the Paralympics one year with the sledge hockey, and I thought, oh my gosh, I could not believe how. I mean, they just fly, and it's like real hockey. Like they get each other into the boards, and and I just thought, well, thank goodness he's not out there playing that.
Is that the big dream, though?
I think it's probably a little bit late for that for me, but she did inform me at the end of this season that she wants me to get more aggressive.
Oh,
get in there!
I told her
Get in
if she's prepared for the possibility I could get hurt, because that is a possibility. I have no problem with that.
But you could get hurt walking down the street.
Yeah.
Miss one curve.
Yeah, just like doing a fun run. You just twist your
Exactly.
ankle.
Yes.
Yeah, that happened to you just recently too.
Yeah. Not fun. Not fun.
So
Did you get the cool boot though?
No. I
No.
just got swelling in my foot and was like, take it easy.
Sometimes a little bit of that's character building too.
Mm-hmm.
As long as nothing serious, no serious injuries though, Mike.
no.
Or else we're gonna come back to this and Bonnie's gonna be giving me grief.
Yeah.
Well, it was her idea. I'm good with that.
Sounds like she's a pretty supportive mom.
Oh, absolutely, she is. Like, I don't know how many rides to the practices at first, because at first I didn't know anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've since gotten to the point where, and she comes to just about every game, when she can, and our big tournament in Calgary every year, she's been there. I think.
Well, I don't think I've ever stopped you from trying anything that
No.
you wanted to try.
No,
So,
that's no.
and I never treated you any differently than your younger brother.
No, even though I know there were times when you wanted to stop me from.
Yes, there were.
Okay, so there might be a story in there. So
Oh.
what kind of other things have you been?
Well, it's the hardest thing, and I mentioned it on a previous podcast that it was the hardest thing I ever had to do was to allow him to try out for the basketball team in high school.
Yeah.
And I just, because I knew he wasn't going to get picked. And I just want so much wanted to say, no, you can't do that. But I didn't. And I let him go and do it. But I was like,
Hard to
but
watch.
it turned out well because the coach of the basketball team asked him to come and keep the team's stats for the year.
So you still got to be a part of the basketball team.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly.
But no, she has always been my biggest fan. With like,
He's my hero.
just which really bothers me that the only goals I've scored were the times when she couldn't be there.
Oh no!
I really want to get one when she's there, and so far,
It'll happen next season.
For sure. Yeah.
and I plan to play as long as I can. Like,
So what kind of equipment do you use for people that don't know about sledge hockey? What kind of equipment do you use? You showed us some of the stuff at IDPD.
right?
Super cool.
Yeah. So as far as stuff that's not, because some of what we use is same as regular hockey, but there's, and I would have been thinking I would have brought my sticks at least.
Yes.
So the sticks, they're kind of like mini hockey sticks almost.
Okay.
A little bit bigger than like your typical mini hockey stick.
This big?
About that.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah, the shaft might be a bit longer. So
Holy.
so the blade is exactly the same, but the difference
blade.
is
Okay. You're gonna have to back us up. The blade on the sledge?
yeah,
Or
no, the stick. I'm still talking about the stick.
Oh, okay. So what part's the blade on the stick?
Where you play the puck,
Oh, okay, okay.
where you
Yeah.
shoot and pass.
Straight part.
Oh, yes. But the difference is on the end of the shaft, the other end of the stick. There's these metal picks that they've attached to it, and that's how you propel yourself on the ice.
Oh, okay.
Is you did these picks into the
Have to have upper body strength.
yeah.
So you have to like use the picks on one side and then flip it to use the.
You just move your hands up and down the shaft to be able to.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I really want to come and watch and see some of
Yeah.
this, see some of the team play here. I think
Yeah.
that would be great to come and
Mhm.
check out.
Yeah, and then beyond that, there's the sled or sledge. I'm calling it a sled because that's what I've always called it.
I appreciate that because then I don't feel so
And
bad
then-
about the other
And
day.
if anyone gives you grief, like come and come and talk to me.
The assassin said so.
That's right. So
Take a tip, people.
so with this sled, there's you basically just sit in a seat. It's we call it the bucket, and it's it's like metal tubing is what makes up the body of the sled,
Okay.
and attached to that at the bottom underneath the bucket are the two blades, which are very much like just regular skate blades. They're a little bit longer than a regular skate
cool.
blade, and they're attached underneath. And depending on your skill level, that you can have them further in, or further apart, or close together.
So is that depending on like balance?
Yes.
Okay.
And as you get better, because the further in, the further together they are, the closer together they are, the sharper you can turn.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. So actually, our coach Derek Whitson, he played on the Canadian Paralympic team for, I think he was 2010 and 2014, I believe, and he was at the Paralympics. And it's funny, my mom actually watching him, because he also plays for us as well. She always thought that he has his so close together that from a distance it looks like there's only one blade.
Wow.
Like
What?
that's how
That's some core and upper body
Wow.
strength right there.
he's
And he flies.
yeah, and he doesn't, because obviously since he doesn't play that level, he doesn't train like he used to. but he says that when he play, well, I'm sure that when he did play at that level, he was even faster than he is now. But
You had me really intrigued. Like I feel like I've been missing out not watching this all these years.
It is incredible to watch.
I love watching it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be waiting for an invitation.
Every Sunday at.
Well, it'll be different this year.
Oh, will it?
Yeah, because we're going to have 3 different ice times now. Because
right.
they're trying to getting a B team going.
Okay, well, I will keep you informed.
Wow. Absolutely, thank you.
Yeah.
So is this all through adaptive sport then?
Yeah, the Medicine Hat Adaptive Sport and Recreation is the
Kirah.
Tara Chisholm, Derek's wife. She started. She had the vision and she started this all on her own.
She's a lovely human being.
Oh,
Amazing.
she is incredible. I have no words, honestly. Like,
yeah, she's a gift in this community, I think.
Getting involved in this is
yes.
Yes.
Such a gift to the community.
Mm. Yeah. Well, both of them. Like,
yeah.
And she's involved in everything that they do. I don't know where she finds the time.
An Energizer bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And
What's the craziest thing that's happened in your career as sledge hockey? I just want to know, honestly.
oh, the craziest thing.
Oh, she comes up with the thinkers.
Actually, I don't know if it's crazy, but it's kind of a funny story.
Mm?
So as well as playing, I also am one of the coaches on our junior team, our kids team.
Oh, okay.
And so the last couple of years, every once a month, our practice times for both the adults and the juniors have been a game. And at the time, at first we didn't have 2 goalies on our junior team. We only had 1. So Coach Derek asked me, "You want to play in goal?" I thought, why not? I'll try it.
Oh no.
So are you a goalie?
For the juniors, sure. Not, and even then, like, we had a couple of juniors that have since moved up that, yeah, they were very good. But the funny story was we have this one junior player that Jax.
Yes.
He has Down syndrome.
Oh.
So during this game, he's in front of the net. It's so funny.
This is about to get infectious.
Oh my God.
It is so funny. He whacks me on the helmet with his stick and then proceeds to score. And then after he scores, he gives me a hug.
Well, that's team building.
So,
Question mark?
that was hilarious.
Oh my God.
But no,
He's a character.
Yeah. So, and I love, like, the coaching is I've enjoyed that. I think pretty much as playing. Like, it's just been overall it's just been a great experience.
So it sounds like the team is really important to you. That's kind of the heart of things.
Oh, it really is. It really is. Like, I've met people that I never would have met otherwise, and some of them have become really good friends. And I can't imagine not being involved. Like, I always say, I'm going to play. I'll play as long as I can. Like, we have some players that, you know, who are less physically able than others and have to get pushed. That'll be me someday, I'm sure. If I get to the point where I can't push myself, I'm going to be another Miles.
Miles?
Oh, yeah. We have this one guy on our team. His name is Miles. He was in a car accident a number of years ago, and he's has a brain injury, and he needs to be pushed, and he wants to get right in there.
Yeah.
Like and he'll chirp you like no, just as much as anybody, and so that'll be me someday.
It It's kind of interesting. You said that sport was something you've always been interested in.
Yes.
Is this the first team you've been a part of, or of the
Yes, no. This is the first time I've been able to actually play on an actual team, and that has been the best thing about it. Or, well, one of, like I said, I've loved sports my entire life, and I always wanted to play. Like, well, we talked about, I did try out, and like, and just finally, I mean, I was, like I said, it was 45, and just, I don't have the words to express just how important that was to me. Like, yeah.
When we drove him up to the rec center and the first night for registration, and oh my God, he normally doesn't walk faster than me, but I'm telling, he was like gone. Got out of the car and he was gone. We really had to rush to try and keep up with him. He was so excited to get there.
Yeah. And I didn't even know that it was going to be a team at that point. Like, at that point, it was enough that I was going to get to play this game, a form of it, a game that I've loved forever. But yeah, just being able to actually play on a team, it's meant so much.
You know, I was having a conversation with someone earlier today about sometimes it's just about not just that, oh yeah, there's a seat at the table, but that's your seat at the table. Like, you have a home to be here. And I think that's something that we often take for granted, that lots of people, they can just walk in, you try out for a team, you're just trying, right? Oh, if I don't get this one, I'll try out for this one, this one, you know? Yeah. I think it's such an incredible thing to really have that space where, yeah, no, I do have a seat at the table. And not because somebody says, oh yeah, that's okay, you come here. No, because I earned it and I belong here, right? Yeah. That equity piece is so important.
Oh. And that's what I love about working at Ready. Everybody treats the clients so respectfully, and it's just sort of like a natural friendship between everybody. And I just love it. I love when the clients come in to visit. Awesome.
Yeah, as soon as I walked into Ready, I was like, I know I'm gonna like this place. It's like fun, loving, awesome people who are supportive.
Yeah.
That's it in a nutshell, honestly.
Exactly. And not just supportive of the clients, but supportive of each other.
110%. That's my team. That's where I feel that I am a part of something. That's where I feel that I have a voice at the table. Right. And so I totally get that piece about that team piece, because it's so important to me.
Yes.
A team is absolutely everything. I have, my whole life I wanted to be athletic, and I'm not athletic. I am sports minded. I like to train. I like weights. I like things like that.
Right.
However, I couldn't play baseball to save my life. If you had me, I don't understand. My brain doesn't do patterns like that. It's all very mathematical, and my brain doesn't do that type of patterns. At least to talk about them, I don't necessarily process them the same way. So sports were never my thing, but I always wanted that team to be a part of. So yeah, I agree with you. Having that space is incredible.
Yeah, I used to be part of a soccer team back when I was young, because in England everything is just football, 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 and when I usually play a football, I'm just the defense, but feeling that actually part of a team, it's just like, I finally did something right. It's just like I'm doing right now. I'm finally doing something I'd like. Yeah, absolutely. And not breaking my feet in the process.
I was a baseball player. I love baseball.
I could never hit the bat right. Every time I just hit the bat, oh, there it goes.
Yeah. So do you think you got your sense of sport from your mom?
No, Dad played hockey.
He played hockey, that's right.
And he's quite the sports nut. Everything.
Yes.
Flick, 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 flick.
Oh, that's my house too.
Baseball, hockey, football.
Yeah. Football season's over. Sweet. Oh,
right now,
guess what? Hockey season's here.
Every single Sunday, I hide in my room just to go away from my dad's yelling, saying, "Hit the ball!"
I have to admit, though, I've gotten kind of invested in the outcomes of these things, which I never thought would ever happen. Yeah. Like Super Bowl was important in my house, Grey Cup important, and I find I actually care about it now. So
we always,
Keenan, I guess.
when in our previous community, we always had a Grey Cup party and a Super Bowl party that we attended. So they've always been big deals, right?
So you kind of grew up in that sports-minded community.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah, for sure. And that's where sometimes I think it might have been better. That was I guess one of the disadvantages of being in a smaller town, because adaptive sport has been a thing for a while. And like sledge hockey, if I'm not mistaken, was invented in 1980.
Yeah, I was looking at something
Yeah.
today. I think it was like
So-
1985
So I was
or
9.
1989.
So it was a thing, but in our small town.
But now you look at it in this small
Yeah.
town, like you're
Yeah.
telling me we have a junior team. I didn't know we had a junior team either. So we have a junior,
Well,
an
there's-
A-League, and a B
we actually
League.
have two adult and
2 juniors.
and actually this year they're looking at, because there's levels with the adults. There's the level that we typically play at, which is called the C division, and then there's a higher level, the B division, and we're actually looking at putting a B division team together.
Very cool.
So there's going to be, we'll have those 2 teams, and we've, the last couple of years, we've had enough that we could do 2 junior teams. The junior, it exploded, right? We've done, so this will be my 10th year. So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the junior teams started in my 3rd year. So this will be the 8th year for them. And almost right from the beginning, the first year we didn't have it enough to put a team in, but from about the 2nd year, we actually had enough to put a team in, and it just keeps exploding every year. And I think part of why is, and it's one of the things I really love about our organization in particular, is we have people with disabilities, but we also have people playing that don't have a disability.
Well, that's a really inclusive
which it
arena
is.
then.
I was just thinking that as you were talking, I was thinking about how there are able-bodied people, but sledge hockey is such an equal
Yes.
opportunity for because it just everybody's on the same level.
But
this is what you're using. You're not using legs
Yeah.
or your upper body, and
But even at that, I don't know. I think we might be one of the few organizations that actually do allow able-bodied. Because I think about the team because I played for this team. It's they're from Saskatoon, is the team I played for actually in a couple of tournaments. And the problem was just that they had so few players on their team. And when I think about the players that I played with that were on their team, all of them had some level of disability. So I'm thinking they may not include able-bodied people. And
That sets this program aside then from
yeah,
other programs.
I think there are others, but I don't know that most don't have able-bodied. As far as I know.
So can you rent a sledge, or do they have sledges? Like in
they
theory,
have sledges. They do have sledges that you can use, and they do every once in a while do a sort of a free-for-all if somebody wants to come and try it out.
Yeah. Usually.
So
I want to do that.
Usually,
I really want to do that.
I'll keep you informed on that too.
Usually, what happens when
not too sure, because I don't think I'll fit.
Yeah.
You would.
You're
you
fine.
would.
There's bigger people than you sitting in sleds.
Really?
Yeah. 'Cause
Oh my gosh.
Well, that makes me feel a bit better.
Yeah. So we have in January we host a weekend. We have gotten a team from Calgary that will come and play us throughout the weekend, and we always have. Well, we didn't do it this year, but we typically will have an hour block on the Saturday where people can try it. Unfortunately, this year we weren't able to, because we have so many players that
It's a good problem to have.
we had no extra sleds.
Yeah.
So, but we have done that. We're just people, and that's actually how we've gotten some of our players over the years, is they try it. And
Speaking of equipment, how do you maintain that thing?
it's not too hard, really. the blades do need to be sharpened, and you can get them sharpened at anywhere where you get your skates sharpened, and Tara and Derek actually have a skate sharpener that they bring sometimes.
Pretty cool.
Wow. That's something else.
The organization, but yeah. So other than that, it's really not too difficult. That's really the only thing that needs to be maintained, and just I have a skate guard that I put on when I'm not using it, so the blades can stay good.
That's important. I would think if those dulled up, it would be
Yeah.
quite the ride.
Yeah.
What about your picks? Do they have to be sharpened too, or?
No, they stay pretty sharp, and that's one of the things you have to watch out for on the ice. Hasn't happened to me yet, but I've known people that have accidentally gotten
Nicked.
picked in the leg.
Ooh.
Yeah, and
I feel like I'm a person that would happen to.
Yeah, me too, honestly.
and actually, and with depending on your level of disability, like some people who don't have any feeling in their legs, that would really be
That could be catastrophic.
Well, my biggest fear in trying out to do something like that is that, you fall over. I'd never get back up again.
That takes some practice.
That takes some talent. They learn how to do that, how to use their blades and picks to get themselves back upright.
Yes.
And I'm thinking, I'd be laying there for the rest of the game.
and some players, especially if they don't necessarily have the upper body, because that takes a whole different level of upper body, and that's the other thing. Like the referees will sometimes help players get back up. If that's
such a
not
cool community.
It is. It really is.
Such a cool community.
Like I say, every Tara will send out an email before a tournament saying, there's teams that are short players, and again, because we are in the unique situation that we usually have more than enough. Just ask, is there anybody that would be willing to play on another team? Unfortunately, it tends to be the same few of us that do, but
at least there's someone to step up.
Well, and the way I think, for me, the reason I do it is, there's a couple of reasons why I've done it. I mean, first of all, I don't want a team to not be able to have a team that in the tournament because they don't have enough players.
Year before last, when he played for Saskatoon, they just welcomed us like we had always been a part of their team.
And that's
it was just amazing.
That's the other reason I really like playing for them in particular, is just, and to the point where I've told them I'll play for, if it's a situation where they need players and we're good, because obviously my first priority is going to be to our team, but if we're good and they need players, because actually this last year at the big tournament in Calgary, they actually didn't have a team.
No, they didn't have a team in because
a couple of their players played for, I think it was Regina. So, and that was, I think that's the reason why, is because they just didn't have enough players that they could put a team in. So, and I don't know. To me, that's not right.
And that's kind of sad when it's such a big, because it was such a big dream for you to be a part of this. You have to imagine it's a dream for other people to play too.
Of course.
So what about Special Olympics? So we have Special Olympics coming to the half year.
I forgot about that.
Is that something you guys are involved in?
No, it's because I don't think sledge hockey is part of that. It's more part of
Paralympics.
Summer.
I mean, because I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but it seems like, at least anything I've seen with Special Olympics, seems to be more for people with developmental.
Fair.
If I'm not mistaken,
I think there's quite a diverse population.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is.
Okay.
Like a Special Olympics.
Special.
Maybe I'm mistaken about
Actually,
that.
I knew a young girl that that did Special O. Then she went to Paralympics, and she actually went to Tokyo.
Oh,
Wow.
wow.
Yeah, one of our local girls
Yeah.
here.
That's
that's
so
awesome.
cool.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
We have quite a
Yeah.
few Paralympians.
Yeah,
I think
I know.
in this community.
In our community that we came from in Powell River, most of the special
Yeah.
was the developmental.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, actually, one of my, well, she's a former teammate now. She actually transitioned into track and field type
Mhm.
stuff, and she's been to the Paralympics.
I wonder if we're talking about the same person.
Sarah. Yeah.
She's lovely.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she just posted recently on Facebook that this year,
Didn't make it.
well, she had an injury earlier in the year
Aw.
and just wasn't able
That's too
to
bad.
That's a shame.
wasn't able to recover.
She's a force.
Oh,
She is a
Yeah.
force.
yeah, she really is. I have no doubt that she'll be in 4 years back.
So, do you have any other? Well, I'm sure you have a million of them because that's not really a fair question. That's not a fair question at all. Dalton would kill me. But so, can you tell me what is the biggest gift? I actually want to start with you, Bonnie. What is the biggest gift that you've received from joining the adaptive sport community, the being involved with Sledge?
Just meeting all the other parents and I mean, it's not all kids. There's adults and their parents come out too, and it's just been amazing. Like Maz's mom,
Yeah.
you know, it's just such a. I mean, where our community that we came from, I think there was one other child in the community that was born with spina bifida, but it was about 30 years after him. So I had nobody to kind of go talk to, or and say, well, this is what's going on right now, and it's so hard for him in school, and the kids are picking on him, and blah 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 blah. And now, and now they're there,
Yeah.
and they know what we've been through.
So you have support through that too.
Yeah.
You have a community too.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Well, and she's definitely is a part of it, the community, because we just recently, well, the beginning of summer, we had a big barbecue. The whole organization, like all the sports, and a couple people actually asked. She couldn't make it because she had another commitment that day, and actually a couple people asked me, well, "Where's your mom?" So she's one of us.
She's one of us.
That's awesome. So what about for you? What's the biggest gift that's come from this community, from this opportunity?
Well, like I said before, just being able to play on a team, like it I don't know. I feel like a kid. Just
That's
when
awesome.
like
That's awesome.
like it I'm in my 50s now, and still, like, it's not having had that experience when I was younger. It is just being able to play a sport. It means the world to me. Just having that opportunity, I just can't. I know I keep saying it, but I don't have the words to express just how important it has been to me to be able to do it.
Your mom alluded to that through school and that there was quite a bit of bullying stuff. I know.
Oh my goodness!
I'm working on it too here. I am sucking these back. It is. What's the best gift as a parent is to see our kid achieve their dream.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And like, this sounds like it's been a dream come true.
Oh yeah, it really has. Like, yeah, and I think it's done wonders for me, even as far as my self-esteem goes. Because she'll tell you that I have really, because of things I went through when I was younger, and things I've as an adult as well.
The world can be cruel sometimes if you're a little bit different than everybody else.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
when
oh,
you
yeah.
achieve your dreams, there's one thing that my dad says: give it the middle finger when you achieve your dreams.
Yeah, it's been amazing, like just to have this as a part of my life, and
To be Mike the Assassin.
yeah.
You think you surprised? You think if you saw some of those people that thought you couldn't when you were younger, do you think they'd be surprised at what you're doing now?
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there are a few people that I do still have contact with, and fortunately, the ones I have contact with are ones that
Are very supportive.
yes. Although it's kind of weird because, you know, in some cases I didn't have a lot of close friends growing up, but in a lot of cases, it's been people that, like the couple I'm thinking of are people that I knew most through school, of course, but also our parents were friends. So I still wouldn't necessarily say that that we were close growing up, but they weren't the ones that actively were mean to me. and now yeah, some of those guys have been some of the ones that are really supportive when, you know, when I would post about how I'm doing this. So that's been cool to see too.
And lots of little gifts along the way.
Absolutely.
Hey?
Absolutely.
So if I think about this, and we talked about earlier that there's lots of kids that would love to play hockey and lots of people that wouldn't get to do those things, or to be a basketball player or a soccer player, whatever that is, what would you tell someone that was younger? Actually, it doesn't even matter younger, because I think at all different stages of our life, there's all different opportunities to experience our passions, to be able to find those talents and things.
Hell yeah.
So what's something that you would tell someone in that situation that maybe feels like there's no hope or no opportunity?
I would just tell them to come and try it. And it's not just sledge hockey. There are so many different sports in this. There's wheelchair basketball. There's curling. There's I do the later on today I'll be doing adaptive cycling. There's so many different sports.
Get a hold of Medicine Hat Adaptive Sports and Recreation.
Yes.
And go on their Facebook page. And
just don't be afraid. Hey?
Absolutely. Like, try it.
Can you imagine if you hadn't stepped up that day? How would a waste that would have been?
Yeah. Or if I hadn't stumbled upon on that Facebook page.
Yeah.
Because that's all it was. It was totally accidental. I wasn't even looking for it. I just.
Well, maybe it's kind of sort of like finding a partner. They say you find a partner. The only time you really find your right partner is when you're not looking for them. So, right?
I've always been looking, and they've just been hiding like raccoons.
Yeah.
And they're not worth it.
Yeah, that's right.
But there was a one Facebook page. This whole community unfolded. It sounds like it was pretty life-changing.
Well, absolutely. It's
definitely
has changed my life.
And Mom's too, from the sounds of it.
Yeah.
How cool is that to still, with an adult child, we're just going to go with adult. We don't need to talk numbers. Right? With an adult child, to still be able to do all of those things. To still get up and go to practices and be supportive. Like, what a gift that is too. I never forget. So my son's an amputee. I'll never forget watching him cross the finish line the first time. I wept like a baby.
You should have seen me the day he graduated.
Oh,
because we were told he probably would not.
Yes.
Funny how the world seems to limit. As I said, that little bit different, and then the world places these limitations, right?
Yeah.
When he was first born, they told us that, you know, if he was not severely retarded, he would be slow, and he would probably never graduate, and probably would never walk.
The fact that the doctors just place those limitations on you as soon as you're diagnosed, like saying, sorry, but your daughter has ADHD, autism, mild anxiety disorder. And then you power through like a bull to just get where you are now. That shows. That genuinely shows.
And I mean, I do have some mild developmental issues, but nothing that's wrong. Like I said, I graduated high school.
Nothing that I've noticed.
I work for, I
Worked since he's 18.
yeah,
hasn't
pretty
he?
much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do for work?
Right now, I work as a receptionist at Aged Care Valley View
Okay.
retirement home.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Good job.
It is. I really enjoy it.
That's awesome. See, there again, we were talking about this perception of different as deficit comes up all the time. And I've just I've worked in disability services for most of my adult life. I'm just kind of entering where I am the person with the disability now. And the perception shift of people is huge. Like, people offer to carry my groceries. Like, why?
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Or, oh, no. My favorite is, oh, no. You shouldn't be doing that. And I think, really, I did it yesterday.
I got the different kinds of looks when I got diagnosed. They'd be like, you know that people like you can't be here, or you know you can't do that. And it's that kind of attitude is where I look them dead in the eyes and say, watch me.
Yeah. For me, it's I've always been if I legitimately need help with something, I'll ask.
Yeah.
Like, somebody will offer to help me with something, and I'll say no, I'm good, and yet sometimes they'll still
feel the need to
do it anyway.
They'll still help you anyway.
I bet your mom's not like that, though. I have this feeling she's someone that holds you as able to do pretty much anything.
Yeah. For the most part, I think.
Well,
What?
don't you remember shopping at Walmart?
Oh, this is a good one.
And we're pulling into the handicap stall. Because I always tell them, I'm so glad I have you with me.
Good parking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm pulling in and I went, oh, Mike, could you get out and move that buggy? So he did. He comes back and he said, well, what do you think people are going to say about that crazy old lady sitting in the car making her disabled son get out and move the grocery cart?
That he's perfectly capable of moving that grocery cart. That's funny. That's funny.
God, we laughed.
Of course, the flip side of that, if she had gotten out,
Yeah.
what are people going to say about that brat kid making his elderly mother, senior not elderly, senior mother? Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, God, we laughed.
Oh, it's funny how the world all turns around that way.
Yeah. No, she doesn't. No, she's been pretty good about. Because like I said, if I need help, I wasn't always that way.
It's something we grew into.
I spent most of my younger years
Insisting you could do things.
kind of ignoring my disability.
Yeah.
Were you obstinate?
A little bit. Now it's like I embrace it. It's part of who I am. And yeah, if I legitimately need help, I'll ask for it, and I don't use it to not do things. If I can do something, I'll do it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I wish everybody would do that piece, and I love that you embrace that. We have to embrace that piece about ourselves, right?
Definitely.
It's
The way I look at it is that most of us have a disability of some kind.
Some we see, some we don't.
Afterward glasses.
Yeah.
Most of them have a disability called ignorance.
Well, that too, but that unfortunately doesn't count as a disability, but that should be the big one.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we could talk for hours.
Yeah.
It does feel that way.
However,
that's true.
I'm afraid it's time for us to end our notes today.
Well, thank you very much for having us.
you.
Thank you for sharing a bit
Thanks
of your
for
story.
sharing your story.
You're welcome.
I'm sure there's so much more of it to go. I hope we get to stop in and see you in action this fall. Watch The Assassin. I can't just say it normal either. It's got to be.
If we get to see that, I'm bringing popcorn.
Yeah, I think it'd be lovely. Anyway, thanks to both of you for being here and sharing.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Well, that story was incredible, honestly.
Like, there's so much more that I didn't know.
Yeah.
What fascinating people. You know, I think this piece about living your dreams comes out so much, and not very many people get to tell that piece of their story.
That is true. I mean, I'm living the dream right now. Doing this podcast, going back into live streaming. This is a big thing for me that since I've managed to turn this into a strength. So thank God for that, honestly.
Can you imagine like living your whole life just wanting to be a hockey player, wanting to be involved in a team, wanting to have that piece of things, and then one little click on social media and you find exactly where you need to be?
True, true.
I think that's pretty cool. That can it makes such a big change in such a little action.
It's just like you're walking down the street, you see a big sign saying, actors hired here. And it's like, opportunity? Question mark? You take it. That
would be awesome if that happened for you. I think, you know, when I think about being a part of a team, I was never a really athletic person. Like I love fitness. I really do. I love to press weights. I love to do all these things, but it never really occurred to me that those things could be part of a team earlier. And just as they were leaving, Bonnie was telling me they have a CrossFit club. They have, I mean, on top of the outdoor cycling and the hockey and, oh gosh, what else was she talking about? And there's swimming and there's a bowling league. Like there's all these things outside of all of that. Like there's just certain things I never would have thought. Like, oh, maybe like weightlifting. Weightlifting's a thing. They have adaptive weightlifting too.
Wow.
Like Special Olympics weightlifting. It's a really huge community. What a gift to be a part of.
Yeah, definitely.
I kind of feel like I'm part of that team now. I feel like we've bonded.
Definitely.
Through this.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And being part of this team was also something else, being compared to a soccer team or McDonald's, because there's no food involved. Anyway.
Maybe Dalton could cough up some snacks here next time, hey?
You hear that?
But no, I've been really thankful for this adapting team too. You know, Dalton and Ryan have been fantastic. I definitely couldn't do what these guys do here.
Yeah. They're really the heart and soul of this. We're all the heart and soul of this, honest to God.
Yeah, it's definitely a passion project. I feel really blessed. This has been a goal of mine. This has been a dream of mine for a really long time. So I'm really thankful to be a part of this piece and to hear all these stories. We've heard some really incredible stories. So yeah, there's something about having that team behind you, about walking and not feeling alone.
Yeah, at least we know that now. At least all you people watching this know.
And I guess we have a bigger team now too, because we have the adapting crew out there.
The adapting crew out there, the viewers watching at home, even our families that have been backing us up this entire time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm so thankful to Bonnie and Mike for telling us a piece of their story. And I really, really hope we get to go even more. I'd like to do some experimenting. I'd like to go check it out. I'm going to go see what these clubs are about. Because if they are open really for everyone in the community, I'm going to go see what's going on there. And I hope more people do too.
Definitely. When I moved to Brighton, I'm thinking of starting of my own like ADHD awareness podcast or disability awareness podcast because of this. Mainly to just continue telling people my story and to get everyone to know their stories. Because you don't know until you open the book.
That's right. Yeah, it's a big piece of it. It's a big piece of it. And once you start sharing, you remember all these things. Like I forgot that I was in a bowling league when I was a kid. Like I hadn't even thought about that. And then I think about it, I'm like, wait a sec, I have a lot of trophies. And maybe bowling wasn't a big thing for a lot of people, but like that was a pretty cool thing. It was my Saturday mornings. I got to hang out with some people, do some stuff. Anyway, it's kind of cool.
I forgot I was on a soccer team when I was younger because, like I said, everything in England is football, football, football. You forget so much with all the time that you have.
Yeah.
Especially when you've got something like this going on, when it's just buzz, buzz, buzz.
Absolutely. Well, I am excited. I hope I get to hear more stories from the two of them, because I have a feeling that there's a lot more behind those giggles. They're a pretty tight crew there themselves.
Yeah, the funny stories, I could just not stop laughing. I nearly fell off the couch a few times.
Well, as I said, it was all about Bonnie and Mike today, so we're going to cut our day as over. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Keep adapting.
Yeah, see ya.